If you cry easily, you're not weak. You might just have a more responsive nervous system. And the people who judge you for being too emotional, most of them would shut down completely if they felt emotions as intensely as you do. Psychologists call this high emotional sensitivity, and once you understand it, you'll finally see why you react the way you do. Your stress levels, your relationships, your overthinking, even your exhaustion. It can all trace back to how deeply your brain processes emotion. Psychologist Elaine Aron, who pioneered research on highly sensitive people, found that around 15 to 20% of the population has this trait. It's not a disorder, it's a temperament. Your nervous system simply processes stimuli more deeply than average. But here's where it gets misunderstood. Crying easily is often labeled as immaturity, weakness, drama, when in reality, crying is regulation. It's your nervous system releasing overload. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. For some people, high sensitivity is innate. You were born with a more reactive nervous system. It's genetic. But for others, crying easily developed as an adaptation. If you grew up in an environment where emotions weren't safe, where conflict was intense, unpredictable, or overwhelming, your brain may have learned to release emotion quickly instead of suppressing it. Sometimes it's temperament, sometimes it's trauma, sometimes it's both. Either way, it's adaptation, not weakness. And here's the painful part. Highly sensitive people are often hyper-aware of others. You notice tone shifts, facial microexpressions, energy changes in a room. Your brain is constantly scanning. That means you're not just carrying your emotions, you're absorbing everyone else's too. That emotional load builds up, and eventually it spills out as tears. Let's break this down neurologically. Your amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, activates quickly in response to stress. Your prefrontal cortex, the logical center, tries to regulate that response. In highly sensitive individuals, the emotional activation is simply stronger. When stress hormones like cortisol rise, your nervous system needs a release. Research shows crying can actually reduce stress chemicals and activate parasympathetic calming responses. Biologically speaking, crying is not weakness, it's regulation. The real damage happens after, because society shames tears. So instead of relief, you feel embarrassment. Now you're fighting two battles, the emotion itself and the shame about having it. That double layer creates exhaustion. If this is hitting close to home, good, because here's the truth you've been avoiding. You don't cry easily. You hold too much for too long, and eventually your body refuses to hold it anymore. Now let's make something very clear. There's a difference between sensitivity and emotional dysregulation. If crying is making daily life unmanageable, if you can't function at work, maintain relationships, or calm yourself at all, that may not just be sensitivity. That may be nervous system dysregulation. And therapy, especially approaches focused on emotional regulation, can genuinely help retrain your system. This isn't about fixing you, it's about giving your nervous system tools it may have never learned. If you want to stop feeling ashamed of crying, start asking a better question. Instead of, why am I so emotional? Ask, what boundary was crossed? Was it disrespect, overstimulation, exhaustion, old pain being triggered? Tears are signals. Your job isn't to silence the signal, it's to decode it. Most people will keep suppressing, keep pretending they don't feel, keep calling sensitivity a flaw. But the ones who feel deeply understand deeply. And once you learn how to manage that depth, it becomes strength. Don't confuse emotional intensity with emotional instability. Sometimes the people who cry easily are the ones who feel the most alive.